Hello everybody and welcome back to Soul Stained Ink. My name is Beth and today I'm going to do a tag for you. So this is the Bookstore Book Tag. It is an original by Britt Reads and I was tagged by Britt. This may be the first time on my channel that I have been tagged in a tag, and I am filming it that night to upload it the next day. So yeah, this was uploaded this morning. I saw it, I commented, and Britt was like, I officially tag you. And I went, yeah, all right. So now I'm going to do it. Let's get into it. And of course, I will have her stuff down below so you can go check out the original tag. It's a lot of fun. But this is supposed to be like your trip to a bookstore, the different stages. So, first stage, the beginning of your trip. Walk into the bookstore and instantly feel happy. Name a book that you feel has the perfect beginning. And while it might not have the perfect beginning for everyone, The Hobbit is definitely on my list of absolute favorite beginnings ever. You just start with the first sentence: in the hole in the ground, there lived a hobbit, and you just keep going from there, and it makes me feel warm and tingly inside just thinking about it. Number two, that sad, awful moment when they don't have the book you were looking for. Name a book that made you bawl your eyes out. So many books have made me cry, guys. Like, seriously, I have just flat out cried for all sorts of books, from children's books through adult books. And right now I'm reading Game of Thrones and I'm about 3/4 of the way through it. So if you have read a Game of Thrones, you know what's happening right now. And I knew that they probably weren't going to, I knew what was probably going to happen. No spoilers, but it happened and I was like, oh, terrible. Also, the Harry Potter books, Deathly Hollows, but that was Britt's answer, so I can't do that. Let's see, the Narnia books and The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe, especially. Oh, that was terrible. Okay, number three, that moment when you find a book that just speaks to you. Name a hidden gem book. So, hidden gems are books that you feel like just don't get enough credit. They have no booktube presence, little to no booktube presence, or they have very few ratings. And I don't know about the ratings, but as for booktube presence, I have not seen a whole lot of people talking about middle grade books as a whole, unless they are new releases that have been sent out for review. So, just the entire genre of middle grade books, I'm starting to see more representation for them, but like middle grade books, children's books, picture books especially, there just aren't a whole lot of people that talk about those genres. And I love those genres. I love reading picture books, children's books, middle grade books, and I feel like that entire area is kind of an untapped hidden gem. That being said, I am now going to pick up my computer and hold it next to the top shelf on this bookshelf here. I have so many books that are what I would feel, what I would say are hidden gems, anything from adult to picture book. They're all kind of on this shelf here because they're some of my favorites. So a couple of them are not hidden gems. Everybody's heard of them. Just ignore those and look at the other titles, and I'll read them off in the background. There on the end is Fever City. Then we have a few of the normal ones, and then we have 100 Covers by N.D. Wilson and Ink and Bone by Rachel Kane. I didn't drop you or anything. Look at that. I also have So You Want to Be a Wizard up there, the first in the Junior Wizards, blah, the first in the Junior Wizards series by Diane Duane. I now own books 1, 5, 6, 7, and 9 out of 9. So I just need 2, 3, 4, and 8. If anybody has them and wants to send them my way, or has one in the hardback library edition, because mine's a little paperback, And Lizzie sent me all hardback library editions that she found at a library sale. Yeah, but anyway, back on target. I feel like I hype that book and series a lot, but it started in the 80s, and so not a whole bunch of people talk about it anymore. It deals with a lot of great things, not the least of which is magic and wizardry, and it should be read by all sorts of people of all sorts of age levels. Okay, number 4. That moment you finally find the book you were looking for. Name a book you've waited months and months to be released. All right, this is probably a book that everybody waited months and months to be released. It's a recent book, and it is. Oh, I just dropped half the things on my shelf. Of course, The Raven Boys. It's the one I've most recently waited to be released, and B, it's the one that was on my shelf so I could show it to you. There you have it. It is very lovely though, isn't it? I like it very much. And it's signed. Sorry, I had to get a drink. All right, number 5. The moment when you find a book with a gorgeous cover. Name a book that was a cover buy for you. Okay, I have several right here, of course, because it's me. We don't just go with one. Um, most of them are not cover buys. Most of them are I saw the cover and I requested them, and the publisher was very kind to send them to me. But I do have one that I actually purchased. It was not a pure cover buy because it is by an author I had read previously, and it is a book I had heard things about. Now, I hadn't heard much about it, and I wasn't quite sure what it was about, but this was in a for sale bin. I think I got it for like $3 or something. It's a nice hardback. The cover is awesome. I really liked the retro yellow and gray and just the whole picture of the landline. I kind of miss having landlines. They just were cool. And then the hardcover itself is gray and yellow, which I really like that combination. So yeah, that's the one I purchased that was a cover buy. Now, things that I requested that were cover buys that they actually sent to me was were Fairy by Isha Marjora. This book is about a girl who's like in a psychiatric ward and she was starving herself to death. It covers topics of body dysmorphia and suicide and uh, just all sorts of mental anguish, and you guys should definitely check it out. Then we have this no brow um, little graphic novel, Mean Girls Club by Ryan Heshka. The insides of this are just as cool, but the storyline itself is very harsh, and I don't really recommend it unless you want it just for the pretty pictures and not to actually read the story. And some of the pictures are harsh themselves, but yeah. The Unreliable History of Tattoos by Paul Thomas. I needed to know nothing but the title and see the pictures on this, and I was hooked. And same goes for 101 Artists to Listen to Before You Die by the artist Ricardo Cavallo. And I could keep going all day with the no brow books. Here are Archie Snufflekins, Oliver Valentine, Cupcake, Tiberius Cat by Katie Harnett, and The Journey by Francesca Sana. And I did read the blurbs about them before I requested some of them. But, these are awesome books, and I really trust Flying Eye and No Brow, so that helps. But I just loved the cover art, and it looked so cool. I had to request them, and the publishers were very kind and sent them to me, for which I will be forever grateful. Sorry if you hear barking in the background. My dog is dreaming and barking in his sleep. He's 14. You'd think he'd grow out of it, but no. It's all right. I'm just glad he's finally sleeping. He was really hyper earlier. Um, ate some fermented pizza dough that had been thrown in the trash and was singing when we came home from school. Just in the middle of the floor. Ow, 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 ow. It was really funny, actually. But it got annoying. I'm glad he settled down. All right, number 6, the moment you must pay a lot for all of your books, but you you're still super happy that you finally have them. Name a book that made you suffer, but you were happy about it. Love the props to Ron there. That is most definitely a good Ron Weasley quote. And a book that made me suffer, but I was happy about it. Um, the Lord of the Rings trilogy. Like, you have to suffer. You get in there, and if you really connect to the story, I've read it so many times. I get in there, and I feel like I know the characters. I've seen the movies. I know who they are. I see them, and then I'm reading, and so many things happen. And I'm one of those people who loves the way J.R.R. Tolkien writes, which is not the easiest thing to say, honestly. And then so much stuff happens. I'm only 3/4 of the way through Game of Thrones, but I do enjoy the writing style and feel like that's a good answer, although that was also Brit's answer, so I can't use that one. So yeah, we're gonna go with the Lord of the Rings trilogy and The Hobbit as well. Like, you're suffering and you feel bad for them, and you know the ring rays are coming after him, and Frodo gets stabbed, and there's just all this craziness going on, but you're happy to be in the story. So I like it. And then finally, number 7, walking out of the bookstore, happy and excited for your new books. Name a book with the perfect ending. Uh, I have no idea. I always think that, oh, I like this ending, and then I'm like, but they could have done this, and I want to know what happened here, and there was something in the middle of the book that didn't get wrapped up. Even if it's perfect, there's always something else. I'm like, well, they could have done more. That's why I'm terrible at standalones. Just honestly, I read a standalone and I'm like, but I want to know what happens next. I want to know what they do in 10 years. Why didn't you write a series so I know what these characters are up to later? Okay, so that is the end of the bookstore book tag. Britt's video will be linked down below. If you have already done it, please link yours down below in the comment section for us. But if not, then I officially tag you and you and you and you and Akos and Lizzie from Lizzie Faye Loves to Read, reads books. Lizzie, I always get it wrong. Lizzie Faye reads books. Akos from Akasawa K, Cherry from Cherry Walker. And you know what? Let's go ahead and tag Emily Lubke from Julian Greystoke, because you need to do a book tag, baby. You haven't done one in what, like 24 hours? Get her done. All right, guys, I will see you again later. Please feel free to leave whatever comments you've got. Like the video if you enjoyed it. Let me know what you want to see from me next, and I will see you later. Bye.